Welcome to Black Enterprise Business Report, your ultimate source to achieve wealth for life. I'm Caroline Clark. Does it still make sense to go into the auto business?
The business is changing so much. Technology is truly changing the automobile industry.
Plus, our Entrepreneurs of the Week will share the keys to handing down the family firm.
You got to learn every job to understand what that job actually is meant to do.
And Sonia Lean will give us a preview of the newest cars to hit the road.
If you show up to an event in one of these, you know you're making a statement.
But first, we'll shift gears as I sit shotgun with one of the most powerful and profitable auto dealers in the industry. Gregory Jackson is a legend in the auto biz. Driving sales to dizzying heights, he broke the $1 billion mark in 2004.
Sales being $1 billion, it certainly warms the heart.
Now the CEO of the Prestige Automotive Group is sharing his secrets.
Cash is still king. And myself, as well as a lot of other auto dealers, one of the reasons why we survived over the last several years is because we had cash. And if you didn't have cash, you were in trouble.
Trouble crashed into this star performer when the near collapse of the auto industry hit hard, causing him to lose 5 dealerships.
Even though we've done a third of the sales, our profitability has been equal, if not more, because our margins are different.
With 3 dealerships remaining, Jackson is still maintaining some impressive inventory.
It is a big deal to represent a fine luxury brand like Mercedes-Benz. And it's a big deal particularly because there are not a lot of African Americans that represent luxury brands in the United States.
There are not a lot of dealers of any hue who have garnered Mercedes-Benz's Best of the Best award.
Yes, and we're very, very proud of that. And of course, to do that, you have to have high customer satisfaction. You got to sell so many cars. You have to have a quality facility. And your people have to be engaged in the business. And hopefully we can maintain that high standard of excellence.
Maintaining high standards and close ties with his entire staff are what Jackson considers his keys to success.
He's a straightforward man who what you see is what you get. He's fairly direct, but he's extremely fair. And he's very concerned about the people that work for him and what happens not only to them here at work, but in their personal lives.
He's very, very down to earth. He's a great guy to work for. I've worked for him for 20 years, so obviously it says something.
And he knows how to really control those expenses and pull things into line. He's a money guy, right?
Well, he watches every penny. Trust me, we, flip the paper over and use the back of the paper for scrap paper and such. We watch every dime we spend.
There's so much being made of the resurgence of particularly the domestic car manufacturers. Has there been a resurgence for the minority auto dealers?
Absolutely not. And actually, when we get together, those of us who are current dealers, we talk about it, and we talk about what can we do. The access to capital is a real problem, and I'm really scared, if you will, for a person trying to go into business right now, because I don't see the banks lending.
For this past winner of the BE Company of the Year award, current challenges in the auto industry simply mean chances to look elsewhere for new opportunities.
We've acquired a historic property in downtown Detroit in the Lafayette Park area. It's called the Lafayette Towers. It's 600 apartment units. And so I'm seeking to renovate it over the next year. We're going to spend $10 million doing renovations.
Would you have looked to diversify if the auto industry had not hit such a speed bump?
Absolutely, because I just don't believe, particularly, what is African American or any group, to have long-term sustainable wealth and long-term sustainable business. I think that you have to diversify.
His advice is to not only look for new sources of cash, look everywhere for ways to stay creative.
Auto dealers are some of the smartest people I ever met. They're smart, they're innovative, they're hardworking, they work in their communities, they're philanthropic, and some of our best ideas have just come from other dealerships.
And do you always own the lots your dealerships are on?
I've always owned the lots that my stores are on. And I have another company that's called Jackson Land Holdings, which owns all the facilities. This is lot here is about 3.5 acres. It's actually a small lot for an auto dealership.
I heard your team this morning have this great rallying sales moment, and they said some sort of pledge. Was it, I pledge allegiance to Greg Jackson? What was that?
I would love to have them pledge allegiance to me, but I really don't think that's what they did. We have every Wednesday morning what we call a WOW meeting. And the WOW meeting is just an opportunity for us to get together and talk about what we've done good, what we could do better, what we've done bad, and how we can improve on it.
Yep, that's good. Okay, very good. Thank you, guys.
What's more likely to bring people back to you for car after car, service or the front end of the shop?
Oh, absolutely service.
Yeah.
Absolutely service, because, yeah, you think about it, I mean, you might come in, you spend 2 hours buying a vehicle.
Right.
But you'll be with us for 2, 3, 4 years servicing your vehicle, so we become real friends.
Jackson is driven to climb back to the $1 billion mark. But for all his accomplishments, there's still one more road he seeks to travel.
I really look forward to my children coming into the business. And for me to see that next generation and see us transition to a second generation business, which, as we know, we don't see a lot of that happen within the African American community. So that's exciting. That's exciting.
Coming up, we'll have expert advice on how to own a dealership like this one.